Hey, what do you know? We're not doing an emergency podcast.
No, well, there has been a coaching change.
Yeah. Holy heck. We're doing an actual show on a Thursday, not on a Sunday. And there's not three, there's two guys. Welcome in, everybody. It's three guys before the game. Hoppy Kercheval with us. I'm here, and our summer series continues with one of the all-timers. Deuce McBride is our guest here on Three Guys Before the Game.
Does he have any eligibility left? Can he come back?
Man. You know, it's easy.
I mean, they got slots.
I'm just saying this. In football, I've always felt.
I know, and I like it.
I've always felt in football that you could camouflage somebody, put a different person in the uniform. They got the helmet on. They just put the wrong person's jersey on them, and they'll never know.
Right.
I think it's harder in basketball.
Yeah.
Might be harder. Let's say, wait a second. Wait. I saw that kid score 18 points against the Portland Trailblazers. I don't think that's the same dude. No. So Deuce is on deck, plus later in the program, Textual Healing. Three Guys Before the Game. Brought to us by the Burdett Camping Center. They are the only warranty forever recreational vehicle dealer in the state of West Virginia. You can visit them at burdettcamping.com. That's burdettcamping.com. Three Guys is also brought to us by fine folks at Go-Mart. Go for good times. Go for Go-Mart. They've got that ongoing summer cryptid quest. You can earn like bonus points, and you can get savings on gas, food, and if you really play it well enough, I think you can furnish your entire house. I think. But, I mean, you got to go a lot, though. In order to get that, you have to go a lot. Three Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. And by the people that bring you family fun, Lou Wendell Marine Sales, the premier pontoon boat dealer.
Is that where Brad is? Looks like him on that boat.
Could be, yeah. If you look real close, that might be the center on the back of that pontoon.
Might be. Looks like him.
LouWendellMarineSales.com. All right, a lot to get into. Please welcome to the program on this 473rd episode of Three Guys Before the Game, Miles Deuce McBride, who has just completed his second season in the National Basketball Association. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, man. Good to hear your voice again. Mm-hmm. Does that? Yeah. I mean, when I say getting ready or just finished his second, getting ready for his third season in the National Basketball Association, have you kind of embraced that yet? That's like, whoa, this is happening quick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's crazy just that finished 2 years of, playing obviously in the best basketball league in the world, and just honored, honestly, to be going into my third year with the same team.
Something that hits me when I watch you, and that is this, that even from your first year, you never seemed out of place, or it never seems to me that it's too big for you. Like, I see you on the floor, and it's just like, yeah, he's on the floor. Why wouldn't he be on the floor? Like here you go. Are you hiding something, or do you feel, or do you feel exactly like you look on the floor?
Oh no, I definitely feel very comfortable out there. Obviously, I'm playing against the world's best and stars and whatnot, but I feel right at home. I feel. I'm just a few years from being at the same level as some of those guys. The more opportunity grows, the more I'll grow.
Yeah. And so here's what makes your story even more special, because you are where you are, and the Knicks have exercised their option for your third year. So you're going to go back to the Knicks. But what makes your story, in my opinion, interesting, Deuce, is that no one had this script written for you when you got here, where, in certain places – and certain kids, when they go to college, oh, here comes this five-star McDonald's All-American, la, 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 la. He's going to be in the league. He's going to be in the league. He's going to be in the league. And sometimes they do, and sometimes They don't. But, like, no one had this script that this kid's going to come from Moeller and he's going to go to the NBA. So where did we miss where did we miss on what we're seeing?
Honestly, the belief in myself from I think the day I picked up a basketball, I knew I was going to play in the NBA. I didn't have a doubt in my mind whether I was playing football in college as well as basketball in college or whatever. But I think definitely the injury hindered my national image, where I was coming in as a sophomore as a little more highly touted, a little more raised. And then when I got injured, so many schools had backed off. And, if you're not playing, obviously you can't go up in the rankings. I think a lot of people just kind of forgot about me, but I was still the same me.
So, okay, you got all this confidence, and I get that. And that's a big part of your success, along with working extremely, extremely hard. And we'll get to that in just a minute. And also we want to talk about your camp, certainly. But still, when you get to that level and you're out there, I mean, these aren't the guys you played against in college. I mean, this is – so, I mean, when did that hit you that, I mean, in college, I'm sure there were guys you thought, okay, I can take this guy off the dribble or I can guard this guy. Different deal in the show, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the game's pace is just, you can watch it on TV. You can even be courtside, but the feeling of being in an NBA game, the pace, the possessions, it's really insane, because even when it looks like, we're walking the ball up, there's something happening on the backside that you're not even going to see. And the length of people being able to cover so much ground, because I don't think people understand how wide the paint is, and for there not to be a 3-second rule, and for guys to still come over from the weak side to the strong side to get a block or get a steal, it's just insane. So for me, knowing that that's what I'm walking into, my preparation went to a whole different level. The mental side went to a whole different level. So,
well, that's super interesting, because you just said a bunch there that I want to kind of dig into, because I think mentally, I've always loved your game mentally, because you were the silent assassin. I mean, you're not one of those guys that was out there banging your chest before the game or doing anything, slappy, because quite honestly, and I think you would agree, the guys that have to do that stuff normally are the guys that they need to do that because they don't have what it really takes, but that's a whole different story. So you've always, in my opinion, been that silent type of, let's go, I'm going to play, and that perhaps was best typified when I think back to the Oklahoma State game at the Big 12 Conference Tournament, when you stole the ball, and here's Cade Cunningham, the #1 pick, and you swipe it from him, and then you absolutely tomahawked it. Like, to me, that's worth 10,000. I'm going to bang my chest and show you how bad of a guy I am. Like, let's go get it. I'm going to dunk it on your head.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, you just kind of have to be fearless. I think if you're thinking about, I'm playing against LeBron tonight, I'm playing against Kevin Durant tonight, I think if you're going in like that, then, you're already at a disadvantage versus thinking, obviously, I'm going to be there. That's the plan. That's the reason I'm playing the game, is because I love it. I love the competition.
Right.
I love the mental attitude that you have to continue to be on attack mode, or to really eat or be eaten out there. I love that as a competitor.
Yeah, and that's what separates the great. See, the great ones want the competition. Right. Some people run away from the ball, and some people want the ball. And that's what, in the NBA, that's what they all are. They're all alpha dogs.
Yeah, they are, but at the same time, Deuce, I have to wonder that early on, and again, you're going to year 3, you look up and all of a sudden, like, because of the switch, I'm guarding LeBron James.
That's a great point. I saw a highlight, Deuce. I was just going to bring the same exact thing up. Yeah. I was either dreaming or I was watching highlights. I think I was watching highlights. You're playing the Lakers. The ball goes far side corner, and there's a switch, and you're guarding LeBron, and I'm going like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But the first time that it happened, the first time that the switch happened, and you're like, okay, I'm reaching, okay, and here he is. Did you have that holy blank moment, or what was it like? Let's go.
Honestly, I think this is kind of the truth. Like, honestly, I don't remember what part you're talking about, just because, like I said, it was just another point in the game. He's just another player out there to me. I'm not looking at him like he's LeBron James. Obviously, I'm going to give him the utmost respect off the court, but on the court, he's just an opponent. You know, he's on the same level as me. I'm not remembering too much of. I remember switching on to him a little bit. I think when we played him at home, he drove and I stood in and almost took a charge and ended up getting my hand on the ball and got a steal from him. But other than that, no, I don't remember.
That's funny you'd say that, because he talks about it all the time.
Yeah, I remember that time Deuce switched on me in the corner. I didn't know what the heck to do. Go right, go left. He had me all boxed up. I didn't know what to do. Well, think about this, dude. Not only are you playing in the NBA, as you well know, as every game starts inside the Garden, they say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena." That has got to be the thrill of a lifetime to be into that environment.
Yeah, no, I don't take it for granted at all, because, I mean, obviously playing for any NBA team is an honor, but playing in the Mecca, playing for those fans, I mean, I can't put West Virginia over Knicks. I can't put Knicks over West Virginia. Right now they're about even, but I mean, just playing in the Mecca is just a whole different level of basketball.
Yeah.
I think because you have fans from all over the world that it's their dream just to go watch a game, and the fact that I'm able to step on the court every home game, it's amazing.
After practice, do you ever go one-on-one with Jalen Brunson, and where's my money on that when you go one-on-one with him?
No, we're not practicing too much. I think we're going to walk we kind of saved that for the summer, so he's going off the field. But I'm going to be waiting for him when he gets back.
All right. That's fantastic. As I said to you, we're going to jump all over the place during this. You are coming back to West Virginia. We record here on the 20th of July. You have 2 camps here in the state coming up next week. So we're going to go Friday the 28th, Sunday the 30th. You are going to go Northern Panhandle. So we're going to call it Wheeling, or actually Tridelphia.
Sure.
For those to be specifically. And you're going to be at the Highlands on Friday the 28th at the Highland Sports Complex, and you've got 2 groups that you're going to do that day, 6 to 12 years old, 9 until noon, and then from 1 until 4 p.m., you're going to do 13 through 18-year-olds. And then after a day break, you need to make the long journey from Wheeling to Morgantown. Then you got a great facility at Milan Park. You're going to be in there on Sunday the 30th, 6 to 12-year-olds, 9 until noon, 13 to 18s, from 1 until 4, and to your credit, if I'm reading this right, this is pretty good. You're only charging $99. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so that's very fairly priced to get. Basically, we're talking $33 an hour to get an NBA dude working with you. So for those that would like to jump in, I think the easiest way might be just go to the website, eventbrite.com. So it's event, and Bright is spelled B-R-I-T-E, eventbrite.com, and just put in Miles Deuce McBride basketball camp, Miles Deuce McBride basketball camp, and you'll get the information. You can sign up, and boom, you will be in. What are you going to try to teach? What can you teach somebody to help them in the 3 hours?
Honestly, a lot. I mean, when it comes to the younger kids, I just want to hammer in the fundamentals, the repetition, the teaching kids just to kind of love the game and seeing it from different aspects at that age is great, especially coming from, my level and that played for my whole life. So I do remember what it was like first touching the ball and, looking up to older kids. And then, when it comes to the older kids, trying to show them things that, high school coaches are looking for, college coaches are looking for, and kind of tell them, playing the right way is overall going to get you much farther than, being an individual talent. You got all that, as well as, you're going to get a T-shirt. You're going to get some time to talk to me, ask any type of questions. I'm going to be actually doing a kind of like a station where I'll be able to sign autographs, take a picture, and really get some close one-on-one time with the kids. You get that, and then I'm going to be able to feed them thanks to Charlie Hurd and Hurd's Best Barbecue. They're getting a free meal after the camp. So
very nice.
I think that's all worth it.
Well, heck yeah.
3 hours.
I mean,
we might have to.
I mean, sometimes my lunch bill's $99. So I think that's a heck of a deal. Your dad played collegiately at Xavier. How much of, you mentioned fundamentals a second ago, how much of what he told you to do and instructed you to do to make you the player that you are helped you in comparison to perhaps someone that really didn't have a good handle on what the most important thing to learn is to learn how to play this game?
Oh, I mean, it was a great advantage for me just having a father that played 10 years professionally, college, and then was coaching high school as I was growing up. And it's funny because there's still so many things that he talked about when I was younger. My brother and I did out in the backyard and certain drills that I'm still doing today, just because when it comes to the fundamentals, you have to be great at them. And until you master them, which, I mean, you could say maybe few or none have truly mastered the fundamentals, there's no reason not to be doing them. So just having him as a father and a coach, it meant the world to me, and it still does.
Deuce, how much does it matter, in your opinion, for maybe not at the pro level, maybe not even at the college level, but at that middle school or youth basketball or high school level, where a kid has attitude, had positive attitude? When they say line up, he's the first to line up. When they say drills, he's the first in the drills. Sprints, he's the first in the sprints. But he doesn't have the skills everybody else does. Does that stuff still matter?
Honestly, I mean, yeah, I was gifted with a lot of athletic ability on the mental side. Like I said, my dad was coaching me from a young age. So, but when you compare it to a 6'9", also very smart guy like LeBron, or you have Kevin Durant, Giannis, I mean, you have all these other insane builds and insane molds. I mean, you have to outwork guys, and especially being 6'1", 6'2" guard, playing against nothing but 6'6", 6'7". I think the kids that don't have that build that they obviously would like, that the motor is going to carry them much farther. Mm-hmm. I mean, you said it earlier, there are a lot of kids that are 5-stars that don't make it, and it's because of the motor. I'm a big believer, you put in the work, it will pay off as long as you're confident in your work. What's the point of working out 2 times a day if you're going to get on the court and not be confident in that work? So I'm a big believer in the motor and just having the confidence to back it up, not cockiness, but confidence.
Yeah, and I can certainly attest to that, because when you were here, so many times you were the only guy on the floor at the practice facility, and guys, you were working out either by yourself or managers were there working you out, because you had your plan, and you go like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep pounding this and working at this to get to roll. And you had 2 obviously wonderful years here, and Lord knows if you would have stayed for 4, you would have put up some stupid numbers, but you
did okay.
You did right. Yeah, you did okay. Right. When you think back to your West Virginia experience, what's the lasting, or what are thoughts that pop in your mind about having been here for a couple of years and playing?
Man, some of the best basketball teammates, obviously playing for Coach Huggins, just learning so much from him on and off the court, the whole staff as well. And obviously we had our ups and downs, but through and through, it was family there. And I think, it's always funny when you talk about basketball and you talk about old teams you've been on, you remember a lot of the stuff on the court, but it's more of the stuff off the court that you remember. the bus rides over the games, the film sessions, the after practice talk, and I miss it a lot. And I'm still in touch with a lot of the team. I talk to Coach Hugs a decent amount. His phone is always on for me, and I'm sure it's for other players as well. So it's that stuff that I really miss and remember.
The fact that you miss it, so at the professional level, is it just different? Is the camaraderie different because everybody's a pro? Maybe they have their lives or families. They're going in different directions, or is there still a level of camaraderie at the pro level?
Yeah, there still is. I think the better the camaraderie, the better the team. I think you necessarily don't have to like somebody, but if you're willing to work with them, obviously it's still going to help the team. But yeah, I mean, I was the youngest, I think, on the team, or the second youngest on the team this year at 22 years old, and the oldest being Derrick Rose at 34. We're just in total different areas of our life, and everything in the middle. Whether you got kids on the team or a wife you have to get home to, I mean, it's just a whole different level. And living in New York, guys don't live close, so it's just harder to commute different places. So, but I think, our team leaders really did a good job of making sure that, everybody was involved and everybody felt like they were part of the team.
Yeah, and I think folks might be surprised, but like the Garden is only where you play, right? Are you guys
Right.
still at SUNY Purchase? Is that where you guys still are as far as works out, practice and things like that?
Westchester. Yeah,
Westchester? Okay.
Yeah, Terrytown.
Okay, so where do you live? You live close to practice facility, and then what's game day like? How do you get into the city? How do you do all that craziness of potential traffic and all that?
So I actually, Terrytown, where our facility is out, is north, and then the Garden is obviously south in the city, and I'm like smack dab in the middle right now. So going to the facility is about a 20-minute drive, but going to the Garden on a game day, man, that can take anywhere between 35 minutes to an hour and a half.
Oh.
No way around that, man.
It's the second quarter. Where's Deuce?
Yeah, exactly.
He's on the Parkway.
Yeah, where's Deuce?
Yeah.
Hey, now that you've seen so many of these guys, either played with them or have seen opponents, define a professional basketball player who does it right. What do they do that people might be surprised by, a true pro?
Man, the biggest thing I think I'm learning, I think people have seen it or watched a little bit with Michael Jordan and Kobe, but I mean, the biggest thing I'm learning really is lifting, how much guys actually spend in the weight room. I mean, at West Virginia, we did a really great job, and even coming from high school and having a father that obviously lifting was always big for me, but true professionals spend even more time. They're lifting before the game. They're lifting after the game. Wow. They're waking up, and, I mean, they're doing the recovery and making sure everything is ready to go. Steph Curry, he's one of the strongest guards I've definitely played against. I mean, I was trying to knock him off balance, do anything I could, and he's a rock. He is not moving. And then I had a chance to talk to LeBron's strength coach, and he was like, he won't miss a lift. Like, whatever, he's not missing a lift. He's making sure he's taking his protein. He's making sure he's taking vitamins, anything he can do to make sure his body's ready to go. And seeing that, as well as my teammates like Julius Randle's huge in the weight room, huge on recovery and sleep, and just any little advantage matters.
Mm-hmm. That's really good, super good insight. And you always were strong, so I'm assuming you're stronger now than you were.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Here's another question for you. The misperception out there, it's a laughable misperception, but the misperception from the people who either don't love, don't like, or don't follow the NBA is they don't play defense in the NBA. Okay, so go ahead. Dispel that statement.
Man, I mean, you try guarding Kevin Durant saying we don't play defense. No, it's fun. I think, obviously, the best talent in the world. At the end of the day, you can play the best defense in the world, and somebody still has a great ability to make a shot or make a pass. I think people don't understand that it's a bigger sample size. You know, in college, there are going to be possessions where it doesn't look too good, but when you have 82 games and so many possessions, a couple more of those possessions are going to stand out just because of the sample size is so much larger. But, I mean, you can ask any coach, any player, I guarantee they will say we are trying our absolute hardest. It's very hard. The game's made for us to score more points. So,
yeah.
I mean, trust me, we're out there moving.
Yeah. Well, 24-second shot clock means more possessions. Yeah. And as you just said, you're talking about the most elite offensive players in the world, and so you're going to have offensive success.
You know, the other thing is that, and you were talking about this earlier, is that when you're watching a game, if you go out today, if Tony and I go out today and we're going to jog from one end of the court to the other, it takes a little while to get from one end to the other. And in the pros, I mean, it's like instantly, like 3 steps,
boom,
the ball is in the front court.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, it's just amazing. I want to go back to your camp a second. I think Tony, this is a great opportunity for kids who are playing basketball to hear from a guy who has really sound advice, not just war stories, but like sound advice as to what.
Do this, don't do this.
Yeah, don't do. I mean, what you could get from that, the advice you can get from a guy who grounded out and got to the pros would be invaluable, I think.
Right. Hey, Deuce, you sit here now and shake your head at this transfer portal, or give me what you're thinking here.
You know, I think obviously it has its pros and cons, and somebody obviously needs to regulate some things within the portal. I think just coming from an outside view, obviously I didn't really deal too much with it. But I think, you know, if coaches at the end of the day are able to jump around, it's hard to say players can't. And I know obviously it's a different level, but now that players are making money, you know, you almost have to understand that it's going to be fueled by money. Whoever has the most money is going to get the best players. Yeah. And, you know, at the end of the day, I would like to see some regulation. Hopefully some colleges are bringing in financial advice for these guys, but, you know, not everybody's able to make the same money, but that's how the world is. That's how the world works. So I think that college basketball has been a business, so I'm glad to see that technically now guys that are employees are able to get paid, but I still think it could be done better. But, you know, I'm no expert on it. I'm still, like everybody else, just watching and kind of seeing what happens.
You know, Deuce, you're making pretty good money. You could come back to college and make real money now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're doing all right, but you come back and get a little bit of this NIL. Holy heck, yeah. Just bank on that.
There's no salary cap.
No, none whatsoever.
Right.
None whatsoever. Hey, before I let you go here, so the Knicks have exercised their option for you for your 3rd season. And your long-term goal, and I haven't asked you this, but I know your long-term goal is you'd love to last in this league as long as possible. Like let's just keep layering on years. What is going to be the key for you going forward to continue to play in the NBA?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, it's about just consistency. Consistency in what I do off the court, getting my body ready, consistency on the court. And, you know, obviously I'm a player that needs a little more rhythm, needs a little more time, an opportunity. That's the way I operate. But, you know, you're not always fortunate to get that. So I think as I become more consistent, I think that's just going to continue to allow me to play longer. But overall, I think my defense is obviously just going to continue to allow me to play in the league for a long time, because I think I do it better than anybody else. I think if you put me on any NBA team, I'm instantly a top 2, top 3 defender on that team. So I think that's just going to carry me over for a long time.
Yeah. And if I saw this stat too, Tibbs needs to play you more because the The Knicks are 12-4 when you've played more than 15 minutes in a game. So I mean, just like you want to win, play Deuce. You don't want to win. I mean, let's get that down. If I see him, I'll let him know. Hey, I was just doing a little math here, dude. So you're in Wheeling next Friday for the camp.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. And TBT is happening in Wheeling at the same time next week. So all those knucklehead buddies of yours, they're going to be playing. So they're going to be there. So if everything goes well, the championship for the region is Sunday there. But even before that, during the middle of the week, the TBT is going on in Wheeling. So you'll have some of your guys that you know well that'll be up there also at that same time. Yeah. Yeah. So you can put that together. All right, so here's the deal. Once again, the website to attend and register for Deuce's camp is good. Just go the easiest way is eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com. Put in Miles Deuce McBride, and it'll come up basketball camp. It's $99 American dollars, 3 hours for 6 to 12s, and then another 3 for 13 to 18s. Next Friday, the 28th in Wheeling, the 30th, a Sunday at Milan Park in Morgantown, same deal. Check it out, and I would strongly guarantee that when you walk out of there, either the kid or the family member will say, that was a great experience for my kids. So, Deuce, hopefully we'll run into each other next week, and I'll be up there as well, and maybe our paths will cross, but I really appreciate your time. Congratulations on what you're doing. We're watching, as you probably know, and we wish you the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. You take care. There he is, Miles Deuce McBride, one of the good dudes. And, again, that'll be a great experience.
That was that's so much fun. I mean, it's just so much fun to see somebody that Mountaineer fans love, that gave Mountaineer Nation so much joy, to see him have this kind of success. And, Tony, you alluded to it. I mean, he just worked hard. I mean, he's talented, but he just worked hard. Who was it we had on the show? And he said whenever he got to the gym, Deuce was already there. Yeah. Whenever he left, Deuce was already there. I mean, he just is just a grinder.
Yes, and
along with being talented.
Yeah, so that's what I've always said. I said, like, there's ways to be successful. You can be not the most athletic, but have an obsessive-compulsive ability to do work, and you'll have a chance to be productive. And then you have this really rare occurrence when you're unbelievably athletic and talented, and then you put the other piece to it of, like, OCD work ethic.
Yeah.
Well, that's Joe Alexander. That's Javon Carter. That's Deuce McBride, among others. That's what those guys have. So that's why he is where he is.
Yeah.
It's just the rarefied air.
And having the confidence without being cocky to be at that level.
Yes.
And to not be freaked out by it. I mean, that's fed. It's just, I still can't believe, like you, I can't believe you're watching the game like, there's Deuce.
What's funny is he doesn't. I mean, I vividly remember going like he switched on to LeBron, and he's going like, I don't even remember that, but it's just in the. Well, you know how fast that's got to go by.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I misspoke.
What?
I said to Deuce, hey, I hope to see you there next week. If it was like Friday, I'm not going to be there Friday.
Well,
and Hoppy's not going to be there Friday.
Oh, did this thing happen?
And this.
And
the Senator's not going to be there on Friday. Now, we are going up middle of the week, but next Friday and Saturday, we're doing it. We're going to be in Greenbrier County for Friday and Saturday. Let me tell you what we got. Friday night has developed into a private fundraising event for community schools, the communities in schools of Greenbrier County. Okay. So we're going to do a fundraiser for Lewisburg communities and schools. Currently, no tickets are available for that, locked out. But if by chance a few become available, they will post it on social media. Now, here's the other part of that deal. But wait, don't you worry about a thing. I've got something better than that, potentially. The following morning at early afternoon, Saturday, July the 29th, free event. Free, that'd be F-R-E-E. That's a good four-letter word, free. 29th in Ronceverte. We're going to close down the road in front of the Sportsman's Tavern. Closing it down. Going to come in.
Going to close the road.
Going to close the road, and they've done a fantastic job of bringing this this small little town back to life. So officially it starts at 10 in the morning on Saturday the 29th. We will be there with our partners that we're going to be talking about, and here's where the food and the fun comes in. We're going to have Mountain Table there. They're the people that make the coffee that we're selling on episode800.com.
All right.
6 Pence Pizza.
Okay.
Which is, I'm just telling you, when you have this pizza, you're going to go like, okay. Flavor Mutt purportedly makes the best sourdough bread in the state of West Virginia. Flavor Mutt. Follow on Instagram. We're going to have Rolling Stove Burgers there and the Greenbrier Dairy to make sure you can top this all off with ice cream. And, oh, yeah, we got Kirchevale.
Do you? Because you can't. I can't get it.
Just got finished. Literally just finished. Someone texted me yesterday and said the new batch is out. Had it at Jeans.
Oh, did you?
But we're going to have Kirchevale there at Sportsman's Tavern. So basically, this is the deal. You just walk around, have fun, and we're going to be there. And we'll run into you, and we'll talk, we'll chat, we'll conversate, and we'll have coffee from Mountain Table, pastry, sourdough bread, the pizza, the burgers. I'm having one of everything twice. So that's it. And we're also going to talk with some of the business folks down there because what we're trying to do is literally trying to highlight businesses in West Virginia. And so our focus here is Greenbrier County. The Briar Garden, which is a really nice place. Great guy down there, Clay Elkins from Big Draft. They got right across the start from the Schoolyard Hotel. Fantastic. Also, a little rumor that Mark Bowe of Barnwood Builders.
Oh, really?
Going to show there.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Going to hit you in the head with a 2x4. And so that's what we're doing. So that is 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. next Saturday. We're just walking down the closed street in front of the Sportsman's Tavern in Ronceverte. Later today, if you'd like to avoid any line, you can pre-buy Mountaineer Morning Coffee, which is getting blown up. It's really, really good. I told you last couple of episodes ago, the coffee, it's a three bean blend. Colombian, Sumatra, and Honduras, if I'm not mistaken. But you can pre-order that and just pick it up on the day of the event. We can get your picture made. Get your picture made with you. But you can check out all of our stuff at episode 800. So it's a free event, Saturday the 29th, downtown Ronceverte, in front of Sportsman's Tavern. A good time will be had by all. It's the first time in our history that we're leaving Monongalia County. Our first event outside, and we're going to go to beautiful Greenbrier County. So we'd love to have you there.
You sure they got Kirchevale? Because I was off last week, and before I left, I went to see family, and they all wanted Kirchevale. Thanks to you, I ended up with 8 cans, and that was hard to get.
I have received.
That was it.
That was it. That literally was it.
Literally
That's
was
all
it.
he
I
had.
got the last 2.
Chestnut Brewer
Yeah. Went in there, and in fact, Bill wasn't there.
Amber.
No, Amber. Well, I don't know who, the guy. I'm sorry, I didn't know his name, but I didn't know if I was supposed to get 4 or 8. But he showed me in the cooler, and I saw 2 4-packs. I just grabbed them.
You had to.
So that was it. That was the last.
I do know this. We're bringing 16 sixtels down to the Greenbrier County.
What are sixtels?
That's kind of like a quarter-ish of a keg.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's an easy transport.
Okay,
it's an easy transport.
Are we bringing that?
No, we're.
I mean, are we
our guy is.
Okay, I didn't know we have to stop and put in a car.
No. Our guy is. Our guy Dave. You ready to do?
Yeah.
You ready to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this? Do it. Textual healing coming up. Don't forget we've got some great sponsors of Three Guys, obviously, and our great folks at Burdett Camping Center currently offering that $10,000 off the unbelievable Forest River Travel Trailer and Toy Hauler. That's just one of the unbelievable items they have. So check it out. Go to burdettcamping.com. That's BurdettCamping.com. I just remembered something else.
What?
I'll tell you in a second. So
Okay.
BurdettCamping.com. Tell them Three Guys sent you, get $10,000 off. Three Guys also brought to us by the great folks at Comax Business Systems down in the Kanawha Valley, and Bob and the great folks there. They have, over 25 years, have gone from business equipment to becoming premier in handling your business data, your IT support. They can come in, they can do it remotely, and they go, what do you call it, soup to nuts, from alpha to omega. They become your partner, and they're ready to help you. And you can visit them at comaxwv.com, comaxwv. And when I say equipment, I mean, we're talking for businesses from 1 phone line to 1,000 phone lines. They've got that for you as well. And as I said, IT support, which is becoming so important. So that's the work stuff. Then when you leave work, you got to have fun.
Sure.
You got to go see Lou Wendell.
Yep.
Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans, the #1 pontoon boat dealer in the state of West Virginia. Were you? No, Center goes on the pontoon.
Yeah, he's the pontoon guy.
You weren't on a pontoon recently.
No.
Okay.
No.
It was him. He was calling me about he was pontooning. They sell the Avalon boat, the Avalon pontoon boats, which are considered the best in America, manufactured right here in the United States. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Just like Burdett Camping that has 2 T's next to each other, Lou Wendell has 2 L's next to each other. LouWendellMarineSales.com, the premier pontoon boat dealer in the state of West Virginia. And, of course, while you drive, you need fuel, you need gas, you need Go-Mart. Sign up if you haven't yet for that rewards card, because it does save you in food and it saves you in gas. And they've got that cryptid quest going on right now. It's been going on since the 1st of June. 5,000 bonus points for you if you unlock all the cryptid stuff, all 7 cryptids. They'll get an additional 5,000 bonus points start next month. So you got to get them now in the month of July. And the month of July is almost 2/3 over already. You want more information, just visit the Go-Mart website. They got Triple Point Tuesday, and it's all good. So there you go. So what I was laughing about is this.
What?
Doggone it.
What?
Hey, Jack. So we have a new producer, by the way, Jumpin' Jack Carlson, who he's replaced Tyler County Kennedy, who I guess is he doing something? Is he writing for something now? Is that what he's doing?
He's
writing for the Gazette. I guess like every time he gets a story published now, he texts people and said, "Hey, look at my story. I'm in the Charleston Gazette." So I guess that's.
I thought he was working for Lou Wendell.
Well, I mean, he might be picking some of that up. Hey, Jack, I'm sending you a picture to your email account right now. See if you can get that up there, and if it is, text me when you have that ready.
Wow, this is.
Text me when you have that ready.
Well, it's not live. It
No.
is being recorded, but it is you're a work in progress.
Just get that picture ready. All right, here we go. Text line. Texter says, "Here is my new rule for sport. You wear the uniform, and that's all. No arm sleeves or that black tape or any of the other garbage. Sick of it." Spelled sick, all caps.
Yeah, I saw that. Yelling.
I think everyone would find a way to still play and do the same exact things they do without wearing all the garbage. The worst is that everyone sees this stuff on TV, so they go play in a rec league, and they have to buy all the stuff because they want to feel like they're one of the pros.
Get off my yard. Look, I understand that, but at the same time, I mean, think back, Tony, when we were kids and you went out in the backyard to play, what did you do? You imitated what the pros were doing, and the pros are going to do it. And some of the stuff they do is for legitimate protection when they're up there. So, I get it.
So I'm not going to mention who it was, but there was a sponsor of the Mountaineers. Okay. And as part of their sponsorship, WVU let them go out on the Mountaineer field on a summer day, like this time of the year. And they were going to play a touch football game. So the workers from this company were going to play touch football
okay.
game. So they said, hey, could you guys come out and videotape for this for us? So we went out there. And this one dude.
He was all.
Oh.
He had all his stuff?
It was unbelievable.
What did he have?
He had like turf shoes, high socks. Like I'm thinking maybe eye black, like like the whole deal. And like everyone else was like looking at my boy going like, yeah. So he was going to get the full effect. He wanted the full effect.
Yeah.
And so there you go.
All right.
Texter, poor El Senator. Between all of his shifts at Daniels, emergency podcast, sports line, efforting 8-in-the-box contracts, he will never have time to sell or sail on his Lou Wendell pontoon. That's true.
Yeah.
His pontooning has been significantly decreased. Texter, hey guys, I know you're still claiming you will not make it to an 800th episode, but with the twists and the turns of the basketball saga, you might make it there by tip-off against Missouri State November 6th. Thank you for your diligence, signed by Evan in Iowa. Texter, I saw local and loyal friend J.J. Weatherholt playing in the USA Baseball Collegiate Series against Japan in Charleston, South Carolina. They lost, but it certainly wasn't because of J.J. He hit a long homer to the left in Game 1, scored the only 2 runs for the U.S. in the other. There were enough Mountaineer fans to start a Let's Go chant one time. Good showing, Joe in Charleston. That's awesome. Texter asked this question. Hey, guys, better career at West Virginia, Jose Perez or Tavita Finau?
It's a great question. I'm going to go with Finau because there was much more talk about him prior to getting here, whereas Perez more like there wasn't any talk until he committed here.
Yeah.
But the Perez chatter was a year. I think Finau was about 3 years.
Yeah. Something stunned me this week. Someone told me that Perez, it's not 100% done that he's not going to be here. Now that may add to the ministry, but I thought he was absolutely gone. But like someone said, so I don't know, like whether he does or whether he doesn't. Someone did tell me this: the only thing he's dunked since he's been here is a donut. So, hey Jose, you want to come back and play? Okay.
That would be a great exercise. It's too bad that Tyler Taylor's not here anymore. The greatest players never to play.
We do it on Sports Line.
You've done it?
Oh, yeah. We got Farron Horns. We got all these guys. we got a lot of guys. We got tons of guys.
And how much was said, how much airtime, how much was said about these guys that
Hoppy.
never played?
But there's no question. Tavita's
For now.
Benji Kiyamatu, who Greg Hunter told me has passed away in a construction accident.
Oh, my gosh.
But he was one of those guys. But there was a running back that ended up at Louisville. I mean, yeah, we could build a team. Yeah,
I've forgotten the Finau story exactly.
Like,
what was that?
It's like he's supposed to come, not going to come, is going to come, and ends up at Utah. Stunner. Texter, hey all. I placed an order from episode800.com. I was very excited to get my goodies. I ran into a slight logistical snag with the United States Postal Service, and I just wanted to give an A+ customer service rating to your team. Thank you, Dave. You deserve a shout-out. I will say I did get my coffee, and I'm super excited to try it. I've been stuck drinking burnt supermarket coffee and burnt fast food coffee for a few weeks. I'm very excited to bust out some of my fancier coffee brewing gadgets and my burr grinder. I plan on trying 6 different brewing methods, and I will report back to give a review of the brew and my preferred method. I love that. That's really good to do that. Signed by a self-proclaimed coffee snob, Josh in Morgantown.
How many cups do you have a day?
Me?
Yeah.
Currently?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing stupid. Like, for some reason, I was drinking it, like, by the gallon during last football season. Like, and then, like, so, to be honest with you, I've, like, cut back. Like, this week, I was just doing, like, 1.
Really?
Yeah. The wife was out of town this week, and I normally start it for her, and she just has a little, but so I just make a bunch, and I just drink it. But this week, I didn't make it at my house once.
Really?
Yeah, I just going out. I was going over. I go over to Stone Tower.
To the Stone Tower?
I go to Stone Tower, and they got a latte. I've been doing a latte with an extra shot. Really good.
Okay.
12 ounce. 12 ounce. I had been getting a 20 ounce, and like one day I'm drinking this 20 ounce, and I said to myself, what in the hell are you doing? You got 20. Do you really need 20 ounces? Because like Europeans, like they would look at us and go like,
what are you doing?
Like Europeans would look at Americans when we walk around. Some people walk around with either a 20-ounce coffee or like we go to a convenience store and you come out of there with like a small barrel with a piece of garden hose that you drink like, hey, I need a 96-ounce Slurpee. Like Europeans, as you well know, they would look at that and go like, this is very strange behavior. Like, why would you do that? Like, and some places stay true to form. They'll give you like a 6-ounce cappuccino and like, that's it.
Yeah.
But like Starbucks, they'll get you whatever size you want. They just want.
I was in the D.C. area for a couple days last week, and it was 95.
Right.
And still people are walking around at 3 in the afternoon. They got a big venti. They got a big 20-ounce coffee.
That's a caffeine.
What are you doing?
That's a caffeine. Yeah, that's caffeine. Okay, so here's what I told Jack to see if we have ready. So don't put it up yet, Jack. So this is for those of you watching on YouTube's. I'm at Big 12 Media Day.
Oh, geez.
I'm at Big 12 Media Day, and like everyone is there because 'tis the season for these guys to bounce all over the place to go to these various ones. There are certain national guys, right? They're going to bounce around. So I saw, a lot of these guys that we read and follow that are national college
and
football guys. I've been around long enough that I know these guys. So Pat Forty, I said, hey Pat, what's going on? And these other guys, and then I saw, and then I saw him. I looked across the field and I saw him.
And you know him?
Oh, he's a Syracuse guy.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, he's a Syracuse guy. And so there he was. But he's different now because when he was he's worked for the New York Times, Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports. So he'd be more casually dressed when he was working for Yahoo Sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him, and he had a very nice suit on. I said, my guy. So I walked up. I saw him at lunch. He was getting his food. And I said, hi, Pete. What's up, boy? He goes, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing? Everything's good? I said, I don't know if you know this or not, but you have an arch nemesis. And this is exactly what I said. An arch rival in Morgantown, Hoppy Kirchville. And he goes, I know of Hoppy. And I said, he said, he offered this. He said, Hoppy's very good. And I said, yeah. He got a little pissed off here recently. I forget even what the story was.
I don't know.
Was it the hire? No.
No.
Was it the hire of Ren Bake? No.
It might have been the hire of Ren Baker.
Yeah, that was what it was. You got all bummed out when Pete Thamel broke that West Virginia was going to hire Ren Baker.
Yeah, something like that.
And I told you at the time, I said, Hoppy, that's what he does. That's what he lives. That's what his job is 24/7. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get it. And so you kind of put your tail between your legs. And so we talked about Thamel, he owned you.
Yeah, exactly.
But then,
living rent-free in my head.
He's living rent-free. But then you recently, not that we want the stories that we had to do, but you recently beat Thamel to the punch on a couple of stories involving Bob Huggins.
Right.
So I told him, I said, listen, you had this, but I said, then he's beat. He said, that's when he said, Hoppy's very good. So go ahead, Jack, show the picture. So that didn't crop well. Or maybe that's just our monitor.
Oh.
But that's me and Thamel, and he was sending love to you.
Well, I'll send it right back.
So it's mutual respect.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I mean, two things. One, you sent me that picture that made me laugh. But I mean, it's interesting because there's no joy in what has happened with the WVU basketball program and with the coaching controversy. But so you take no joy in that. as I don't as an alum and also as a reporter on the story. At the same time, it's a story, and you are compelled to cover the story and report on it. And we do opinion shows, so we have opinions about it as well. So it's just part of the job. And look, Tony, I would not be in this. I'm very competitive.
Yes.
And not to the point of, but I just am. I mean, that's and I don't think you can be in this business and not be competitive. So that's part of it. That's part of it.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, at your elevated age, for you to still be competitive, to me, is what makes you the difference maker. Let's face it, man. People get older, they lose their eye, they lose their desire, they lose their competitiveness, and when that happens, and I see it a ton, you just become, and the younger people come up and they whip your ass. So my thought, and I think your thought is too, you have to work harder.
Yes.
As you get older, in order to stay where you are, harder than you used to.
Yeah, absolutely. And at some point, probably in the not too distant future, it's going to be, boy, I can't, I don't have it anymore. I can't, and then it's over. Then somebody else goes in. But part of it too, Tony. And this is very, very parochial. And as a West Virginian, I'm very parochial. And that is that there are these stories. This has nothing to do with Bob Huggins or any of that. It has to do with when there are West Virginia stories that are also national stories.
Right.
But I feel like that the press in West Virginia, whether it's me or anybody else in West Virginia, that we should be getting those stories first. And that's just, that's how I approach that.
Wasn't that the whole storyline of the Mansion Whisperer thing on CBS? That he comes to you, you break the stories. People in the White House, people in Washington are listening to you.
Yeah, that's kind of on a hiatus right now.
It's mercurial.
It has its ups and downs.
It goes up and down a little bit, but
depending on what gets said by certain people at certain times.
Well, anyway, CBS, the piece is out there. The piece is out there.
But Thamel is. I mean, what amazes me is that Thamel is, and I don't know him. He's a friend of yours, but I mean that he is so well sourced. I mean, that he knows and can not only knows, but can reach people. See, that's the thing. Who can you reach?
Yes.
Who can you get in touch with? Who will take your calls?
Yes.
And who will shed information? And by the way, a lot of it is just, today is, and you break a story today, it lasts about 5 minutes, okay? And then everybody else is on. So breaking it, the follow-up is probably more important than breaking it. But Thamel and people do what he do. They know everybody. They have an unbelievable Rolodex, old man term, unbelievable Rolodex. People take their calls, and then they just piece things together.
Yep.
They don't always have stories that say, head coach Tony Caridi said, but they call people and they piece things together and they push it out and break stories.
Correct. And if you go to a media day, you will see those guys working those contacts. So, when I saw Pete across the way and he was talking something, so he was elongated conversation with Joe Castiglione, the athletic director at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So you build those relationships, and then when that time comes, like, okay, and you have that relate. That's how the whole thing works.
Who was there from CBS? Did you see anybody?
CBS. So some of the networks have their own room.
Oh, okay.
And it was like Sirius XM had its own room. ESPN had its own room. So they had so you don't see them because they're in rooms.
Hey, can I make a point about the Big 12 real quick? The media days is that when Neil Brown was asked about that 14th position, the preseason media, I thought that one of the things that Neil Brown continues to do, and I think is admirable, is he speaks pretty honestly for a coach. He's pretty candid. He will answer questions. And when the question came up about the 14th, and he didn't say, I don't pay attention to that. He said, I saw that. It ruined my vacation. Here's why that's wrong. I thought that was a candid, direct answer to that instead of blowing it off. And I really liked the answer that he gave.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he does really well at that. Speaking of that, today as we record, the Big 12, and I've been waiting for this, kind of like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah.
So 14 schools. We're not going to play everyone in basketball anymore. home and away.
Oh,
Not-
okay.
So, but they did the
But you'll
women.
play everybody once, at least once, right?
Well,
or will you?
yes. So, well, yeah, I guess. So I didn't even do this. But West Virginia, this is the new world.
Yeah.
They release the schedule and they say, here are the teams that you're playing home and away. Baylor, Central Florida, Cincinnati, Iowa State, and TCU. Here's the schools you're playing home only. Houston, Oklahoma, Texas, Texas Tech. Here's the schools you're only playing on the road. BYU. So West Virginia women will fly to Provo to play at BYU. They'll fly and only play on the road at Oak State.
You're talking about the women's schedule? Or
This is women. This is women.
Okay.
At Oak State, at Kansas, and at Kansas State.
Okay.
So there's your new world.
I didn't do the math. Home and home.
Yeah. So, well, here's. I guess I just answered your question without knowing the answer. You're only playing 5 schools twice.
Wow. That's interesting.
Play 5 schools twice. They're gonna play Baylor twice.
I like it when you play each school twice.
Absolutely, but you can't do it anymore. Just too many numbers. And even when the other 2 leave. So when the other 2 leave, we're going to have 12.
Yeah, 12. 24. You still can't. 23. I mean, 20, you can't.
So you have 11. You'd have. When you have 12, you have 11 that you'd
22.
play, so you'd have 22 league games. You're not going to play 22
it.
league games. You could conceivably do it, but you're not going to.
What do you normally play? Like 18?
18.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty wild. So you'll see what they're doing. So away only, so West Virginia will probably package the Kansas State games. And maybe they package BYU and Oklahoma State. Maybe you go to Provo and Stillwater on one trip. Probably what you're going to do.
See, that hurts you a little bit because you have seen when you in the second half of the season, for the most part, you've seen everybody.
Yeah, I mean, think about
this. And now
this.
it's going to be February 16th. You go, oh, I'm seeing BYU for the first time.
Well, yeah, think about this. So just on the women's side, you'll only see 10 teams once.
Huh. Interesting.
You'll only see 10 teams once. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's just like, is it perfect? No, we had perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect was 9 teams, 2 times, 18 league games. That was perfect, but it's just gone. Like everything else. Nothing nice lasts.
Can't we have nice things?
You can't have anything. Texter Levi from Hamlin. I just turned 21. I've been listening to about every episode last couple of years. I was listening to you guys last 2 on my way back from vacation.
Probably Myrtle Beach.
Probably. I totally agree. I now am optimistic. But I just don't see West Virginia finishing last in the Big 12. With the addition of these new teams, they are not used to competing every game for a win. Even with a great team led by Geno, Stedman, Tavon, we still had growing pains coming from the Big East. So he's saying that new teams, it's not going to be a completely easy transition.
By the way, Neil Brown has to believe that they will not finish 14th because if they do, he won't have a job.
That's true. He would be the first to say that. Levi continues. Also, come out of the gate hot, beat Penn State, beat Pitt, and we own the state of Pennsylvania. Love the show. I'll be listening. Greg in Catlettsburg. Good day, gentlemen. In regards to the media poll, I say prove it. We're not the Rutgers of the Big 12. Prove it. 6'6", not good enough. Don't get me wrong. Like most fans, I genuinely like Coach Brown. Would love for him to be the man. But first, they've got to prove it. And he ends by asking this: who has more wins, the football team overall or the men's basketball team in league play?
Well, we have to.
Greg, that is I think Greg has often offered these hypotheticals, and so men's basketball.
You got to wait and see who's on said team, who's there. But that'll be a good question to have. Going forward. But Brad had it nailed when he looked at the Las Vegas odds. There is not going to be a big win difference. I mean, somebody might finish at the bottom of the league with 2 league wins or something, but there's not going to be a big difference between 5 and 13 in terms of win totals. 4 wins to 6 wins, right? 4 wins to 7 wins, 4 somewhere in there.
Super small margin.
Yeah,
is what it's going to.
It's going to be like golf.
Exactly. It's going to be a swing here or there. Last one here. Person identifying as Bo from Somersville. Scopes, spreads, and the occasional subs. Just wanted to give a suggestion as the summer interview series draws to a close. I think I can speak for all three guys listeners when I say that you should do an interview with Tyler Consolidated. I think we would all enjoy hearing about his time behind the scenes and you clowns. Keep up the good work during these dark times. As a Mountaineer fan, thanks for all you guys do. So our new producer, Jumpin' Jack Carlson, said that Bo from Summersville is probably actually Taylor.
Oh, could be.
Like under an anonymous trying to get himself back onto the show.
Well, also just normally we don't talk about these employee situations, but he did sign a non-disclosure agreement when he left that he would not reveal anything. This is standard operating procedure, just, you know.
He also signed on his exit out. He doesn't know this, but he did give us the ability to trash him at any time we want. So,
as though we needed permission.
Yeah, we have the green card just to continue to trash him. So, with all of that being said, a reminder to you that yes, Three Guys is leaving Monongalia County. And we are going to Greenbrier County next week. Private event, Friday the 28th. Public event, free, in front of the Sportsman's Tavern. My idea on the thing is going to be like, go to Roncevert and go to the Sportsman's Tavern. The road in front, we got it. We're going to be going from like 10 until 2. We're going to walk around, have fun. There's going to be a bunch of food, a bunch of fun stuff, and we just want to meet you. We'll talk to you, and we'll have, as they say in certain circles, we'll have a big time. So that's what we're going to do.
Good. Look forward to it.
Special thanks to Deuce McBride. I thought he was really good.
He was great.
Yep.
Fantastic. Hope that a lot of kids show up at his camp, get some good meet an NBA pro.
Yes.
Find out what it takes.
He's a great kid. He truly is a great kid. So that is
he's 22, you know. I mean,
he's a baby. Eventbrite.com. Eventbrite.com. Miles Deuce McBride basketball camp. Check it out. Three Guys brought to us and brought to you by the Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. By Gomart. Get your rewards card and save on food and gas every time you go to a Gomart. Visit gomart.com. Go for good times. Go for Gomart. Three Guys brought to us by the Comax Business Systems. Folks, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Visit comaxwv.com and get on that pontoon boat. Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. That's it. Actually, we had double producers, Jumpin' Jacks, pressing buttons, plus Benjamin Lohman.
I saw Lohman out there.
He was out there too, right?
Yeah, he's helping.
Tallest producer in the history of Three Guys before.
Maybe the youngest.
Yeah, he's like 14 or 15 years old or something.
He has his driver's license.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. But I think he's 14 or 15. He's become our thumbnail graphic guy in the area of specialty. Like, what'd you do this summer as he gets back to high school next year? I learned how to make thumbnail graphics of Hoppy, Tony, and in this case, Deuce
Our
McBride.
producers are getting younger. Have you noticed that?
Might be telling us something.
we're getting older.
Might be telling us something here. All right. We're out. Thanks for being with us. Back again at some point in time. Three Guys before the game. Over and out.